In the world of wireless audio, there is still a heavy reliance on the work Apple has previously done with the tried and tested AirPods. While the design is derivative of the AirPods, the OnePlus Buds are about the closest experience thus far on the Android side of things. Thanks for watching 9to5 Google on YouTube. Remember to thumbs up, hit subscribe and enable notifications with the bell icon to be among the first to watch our upcoming videos. Although the OnePlus Buds are aimed at mass market appeal, there are a few quirks that prevent them from truly achieving that, save the enticing sub $80 entry price. Let's start with the carry case, as this is a major step up from previous OnePlus earbuds and one of the most enticing portions of the entire OnePlus Buds package in my humble opinion. The matte finish carry case acts as, well, you guessed it, a vessel to both protect and charge your earbuds. My personal first impressions were that it looks like a hybrid of the AirPods and Google Pixel Buds cases, which is not a bad thing by any means. The matte finish is really good long-term design decision too, as it's far more likely to repel dings and scrapes as a result. Plus it just looks better than a glossy plastic in my opinion. You get a battery and charge indicator at the front of the case, with a metallic hinge and pairing button at the rear. It's a small, soft satin pedal, that's how I'd best describe it, which I just love picking up and holding. It gives you extra grip in the palm. Yes, the case does look familiar to many other similar true wireless earbuds, but I do really love this case from the outset. The resemblance between the OnePlus Buds and the original AirPods is pretty uncanny at first glance, but there is a little nuance to the OnePlus design that I think does separate them enough from the Apple model. Let's talk first about the shape, which takes the common shape and stem design and puts a minor spin on that. The earbud tip itself is enlarged with a rounded head for ear placement, while the stem should stabilise each bud when fitted in your ear. There is a small rounded touch-enabled portion, which allows you to perform some basic controls without needing to reach for your phone too. You've seen this design a million times since Apple basically introduced it to the masses. The metallic tip at the bottom of each stem is also another borrowed design choice, but it helps the buds stay magnetically attached to the inner charge case portion. I have the Nord blue coloured OnePlus Buds to match my OnePlus Nord device, and the two-tone glossy buds and inner green case colour does feel a little cheap at times. I think one of my colleagues, Ben, summed them up best when suggesting that the hardware was cheap, or cheap enough to be expected at a dollar store. But you will actually appreciate that in a weird way the more you use them. My advice would be to pick them up in white or grey, as the Nord blue earbuds are not the most attractive of the trio of colours available. There is also a small sensor on each earbud that is also able to detect when you've got them seated within your ears. This is great for being able to remove an earbud and then speak to someone around you, with audio resuming when you put a OnePlus Bud back in. Although there is a bit of a small issue I have with these, as this does mean you can only listen when both earbuds are in your ears. It's a little bit annoying, but it is something I do hope that OnePlus can fix with a software update. Because the OnePlus Buds have adopted that generic shape that has worked so successfully for Apple, you'll either love or hate the fit. Now this is simultaneously where the earbuds will pose the most problems and probably be the most consistent across the board. They are light and plastic though, which dominates, and it's quite a substantial change based on other headphones. For the most part, I have no major problems when fitting the earbuds in my ears. However, the right earbud just doesn't play nicely and will often fall out if I don't seat it in my ear canal properly. Would I suggest these earbuds for the active person? Honestly, no, I wouldn't. Any minor movement and I end up having to pick them up off the ground, which could be a serious problem on a run, for instance. At the risk of contradicting myself though, the lack of proper seal will be a problem for some people out there, sure, but probably not all people. I can't say they are uncomfortable, even with some issues keeping them in my ears. Even though I do prefer silicone-tipped earbuds, the OnePlus Buds are pretty much fine. They're also not designed to give you that sealed feeling, which I think is really important to know. While I find the OnePlus Bullets Wireless Z to be the most comfortable earbuds I've worn, the OnePlus Buds are probably in the middle of the pack. I personally am unable to wear them for hours at a time because they do fall out, but I have worn them for up to an hour on long walks without any major discomfort. Take all of that with a grain of salt though, as comfort is notoriously hard to quantify though, due to all of our differing physical ear shapes. Let me first absolve myself of any upcoming sins by saying that I'm not an audiophile. Now with that out of the way, you can take my opinion of the OnePlus Buds sound quality with a little bit more leniency. Although I like to think that I know what I'm talking about when it comes to audio quality to a certain extent. That said, if you want proper sound isolation, then I would say avoid the OnePlus Buds. The slightly open design means that you can't get a true seal, which results in instrumentals and intricate tracks sometimes feeling a little lackluster or thin. However, the 13.4mm drivers can produce very good sound when in the right environments. Because there is no proper seal, bass can feel overemphasized, but as someone who listens to the genres where this really benefits, I have found that absolutely ideal. The soundstage is quite thin, but well pronounced, although they are ridiculously close in regular profile to that of the AirPods. Unfortunately though, there is also only one high quality Bluetooth codec supported by these earbuds too. AAC is supported, but aptX is still locked to the Bullets Wireless 2 and the original Bullets Wireless. That means if you're a codec snob, the OnePlus Bullets might not be for you. I would say the sound quality in calls is good as well, but the microphone can be a little tinny at times, or so I've been told by those I've called. You'll still be able to hear the caller at the end of the line with no issues though, and they should hear you in normal conditions just fine. Let's get some pitfalls out of the way as well. If you do not own a OnePlus smartphone, then you will not be able to update your buds. That is a really big problem from the outset, as you won't get access to software fixes and important tweaks to the audio experience. It all makes the OnePlus Buds really hard to recommend if you don't have a companion device. Google Fast Pair is included, which makes light work of keeping track of your battery levels, connecting to devices and just keeping aware of where your OnePlus Buds are, and I also love the ping feature to find each individual earbud. Beyond that though, there isn't really a wealth of controls, but I imagine they will be fine, but it's just annoying that you can't skip backtracks or customize these options if you do not have a OnePlus branded smartphone. Although the touch controls are limited, if you do have a OnePlus branded smartphone, with the latest OxygenOS updates, you'll be able to get access to a number of extra controls, including the ability to alter the double tap action. This does allow you to add the skip back option and even activate your voice assistant of choice. At present though, there is no way to tweak equalizer settings or sound profile, but that could be possible with a software update. OnePlus has also touted low latency gaming audio with the Fanatic gaming mode that's built into OxygenOS. I haven't really noticed any major increases or boosts during my limited mobile gaming. Latency doesn't appear to be a problem when watching YouTube videos or Netflix either. I've been very impressed after a few weeks using the OnePlus Buds almost daily. I haven't had to reach for the charger all too often, which is one of the most frustrating aspects of many other similarly priced and competing wireless earbuds. OnePlus rates the buds at around 7 hours, which I would say is not far off correct in my own usage pattern. Between 5 and 6 hours were the norm before I needed to put the buds back into the charging case. I'm still sad though that there is no wireless charging option for the buds, but I use the same charger for the OnePlus Nord and it takes a little over an hour to go from 0 to 100% if you are worried about battery longevity. The OnePlus Buds are actually a surprisingly good pair of wireless earbuds. The case and battery are particular highlights in my experience, but I'd also say the consistent but modest sound profile is yet another impressive aspect. As far as the experience goes, they are by far the closest to the Apple AirPods you can get from an Android OEM. A huge gripe though is that if you own a smartphone without a OnePlus logo embossed upon it, then they're just another pair of semi-decent wireless earbuds. To access all of the added controls and benefits, you do need to own a OnePlus smartphone. At $79, they're not a bad pair of earbuds by any stretch of the imagination. However, you're just slightly better off going for something like the Galaxy Buds Plus for the added extras that work with any Android smartphone. That is, unless you own a OnePlus device, in which case they're a solid everyday companion if you don't like the vastly superior sounding OnePlus Bullets Wireless 2. Although with all of that said, do you have any burning questions about the OnePlus Buds that you'd like answered? Pop a comment down below and we'll do our best to answer as many as possible. But thanks again for watching. This is Damien with 9to5 Google, and I will speak to you later.